The straight leg raise is exactly as it sounds. You're gonna keep both feet pressed into the wall to start. You're gonna lift one leg straight up in the air. So I'm gonna keep my left foot pressing, and then I'm gonna straighten my right leg, lift it up in the air. And then for me, this is about as far as I can go. The goal is not to fling the leg all the way back, and more range isn't less necessarily ideal. If you're very flexible and you're able to bring that leg up all the way perpendicular, if not past, that's okay, but it may be an indication that your hamstrings are excessively long, giving you that range. So one way to tell too, if your bottom leg starts to move as you bring that leg all the way up, and let's say this leg can go all the way straight, that's still a compensatory way of getting your leg straight. So the goal is not to pass the test, the goal is not to get maximum range, the goal is to see where you are. So if you are a tight person, general rule of thumb is we want that leg to come up right around here. Let's say 70 degrees, whereas perpendicular would be 90. Okay, down here would be a little bit limited. It just means we're missing some rotation. So that's where a little bit more of the drills, a little bit more of intention in your execution of the breath work will be very helpful to restore some rotation in your hips. If you are a flexible person, like very, very flexible, very mobile, and you can fling your leg all the way up without the bottom leg moving, one thing I want you to make note of is make sure that the leg isn't turning out. So we don't want the hips to be rolling as one leg comes up. And we also want to make sure that we're keeping honest with our test. So make sure the bottom leg stays pushed as you bring the other one up. Do 2 times on each leg to get an honest representation. If you are a flexible person, when you do the first test to see where you're starting, if you have a lot of range and then you do the drills and then your range decreases, so you're not able to get your legs far up, that's a good sign, okay? Because less isn't more. We're trying to stay in a specific range on purpose because there is a range that's ideal for certain places so that it doesn't rob us of range of motion in other places, okay? So the goal is just to restore rotation. This is a way to check if you have adequate range of motion. So again, here would be limited. Somewhere around here is ideal. Further than that is too much, okay? So somewhere in the happy medium is where we want to go. Make sure when you're doing it that your legs stay straight. If it starts to bend, that's the end of the test, okay? So if that's here for you, let that be your starting point. Do the drills, then check again, and we want this to improve.